Hebrews chapter 12 verse 29 said, our God, this God that we are serving, is what? A consuming fire. You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. So verse 28 said, we that serve God should serve him in an acceptable manner. And that acceptable manner is to serve him with reverence and what? Godly fear. The fear of God has evaporated from the Nigerian church. And the reason is because we don't know who we are serving. The further away we drift from God, the more we take him for granted. You have respect for electricity. You have respect for gravity. I have never become so comfortable that I can climb a very high-rise building, go and look down. Every time I've tried, even sometimes where there is window, there's glass window. I touch the window, it's very thick, I look. We're climbing this tallest building in Dubai, with my... And then we're in this lift that has surrounded with glass. Glass. I do like this. With all the anointing on my head, I have not gotten used to gravity. We got to the landing, I don't know, forgotten 100 and something floor where they've been there. And then there's these viewing sites where you can go and you have these rails. Because the other people pushing. I don't want a mistake. That thing does not respect you that you are Mr. President. Gravity. It has no respect to anointing. It has no respect to title. It has no respect to PhD. It has no respect to your skin color. It will crush you. And Hebrews chapter 12 verse 28. One more time. I want us to read it together. 28 and 29. Those of us, and in these last days, we're going to have tremendous outpouring of the power of God. But I will tell you, I am a student of revivals. The revival of the 50s that produced Oral Roberts, Billy Graham, and many of these great men of God, 120 of them. Majority of them died in their 30s. A few moved into their 40s. After healing people, opening blind eyes, because of this subject. Because of this subject. Let's read one to go. Wherefore, we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved. Let us have grace, whereby we may serve God acceptably. With what? Reverence and God. If we bring these two things, we will reduce and maybe eliminate casualties. With what? Reverence and godly fear. Let's restore the fear of God. You're not dealing with your uncle. You're dealing with the God that made the universe. Let's restore fear for his word. Reverence. I don't mean fear like fear of snake. I don't mean like fear of, I mean reverential fear. I cannot be careless with electricity. There have been a number of times in the Bible where people took God for granted or ignore his basic instructions. They were burned to ashes. Sometimes it happened to pastors. There's one time it was rebellion under Moses. 250 pastors. The earth opened up and swallowed them. Another time it was two sons of Aaron. They took the wrong sacrifice, strange fire went in, fire burned them. Those incidents, it's the same thing with what happens to a NEPA man. I've witnessed one. A NEPA man goes into an area filled with transformer, or he wants to handle some of these cables. There are things you wear on your hands, on your legs. You don't walk in there carelessly. In one case, it burned the man to charcoal. And even in his death, people still cannot go to get him out. Those people will also die. So they have to ring the station to finally switch off what needs to be turned off so that they can bring out his body. electricity did not kill him because electricity is wicked. I enjoy flying because it's the fastest means, maybe even the safest means of transportation. But men, you can't get used to living on air because of Mr. Gravity. Every time that plane is going to take off, they read all of those instructions for you again. Because it's different from driving. Driving has its danger, but they read those instructions again. It looks like every time we're about to start a service, somebody should read some instructions. Because we are dealing with a holy God.